With the RUIN DLC being out for a few days, there's been lots of things to discover within the game itself, from secrets to the lore to the endings and much more. But of course, FNAF being FNAF, we're left with more questions than answers. But there's been one question that we've been just all curious about ever since we played the RUIN DLC. Who is Cassie's father? Well, I believe after going back into the main game and gathering enough evidence, I believe I have a potential answer as who Cassie's father could be. So that being said, let's get right into it. Now, I know there's actually not a lot of information based to go off of, like, who her father is, but by going to the game itself and, taking implications of when he is mentioned, we can kind of gather bits and pieces of evidence as to who her father could be. Kicking things off in the beginning of the RUIN DLC, Cassie enters the MXES, and from there she starts exploring around in hopes of finding her friend Gregory. While exploring, she comes across an item called the Faz Wrench, and at this Faz Wrench looked just like her dad's.
A Faz Wrench? It's just like my dad's.
And what we do know is that the Faz Wrench was used by technicians, so this insinuates that Cassie's father was a technician who worked at the MXES. Continuing onwards, we do run into Maskbot, and that Maskbot gives us a Vanity Mask, and that this Vanity Mask allows us to go to the AR world and see things that we couldn't see in the real world. And while in this AR world, we're able to find many collectibles within the game. However, there are specific collectibles that are related to her father. The first collectible being the AR Glam Bonnie plush, the second one being the AR Chica Lunchbox, and the third item being the AR Bonnie Lunchbox. When looking at the AR Glam Bonnie plush, it says, "Dad won't tell me why they replaced Bonnie." When looking at the AR Chica Lunchbox, it says, "My dad used to collect these." And when we look at the AR Bonnie Lunchbox, it says, "Bonnie was my dad's favorite." And if you haven't noticed, some of these descriptions uses the words was and used to, which are used in the past tense, meaning that her father was alive at a certain period of time and worked at MXES as a technician until something terrible happened to him. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the MXES. MXES is an AI designed to keep the mimic contained and serves as an antagonist in Security Breach RUIN. Now, first, a lot of people insinuating that the MXES was created by Vanessa and Gregory due to find the Freddy Fazbear backpack down there, not to mention we have the Vanny mask as well, so Vanny and Vanessa be one and the same, so people insinuate that those two were the one that created the MXES system, but I believe that is not the case. Instead, what I believe is that Cassie's father, along with a bunch of other technicians, were the one that created the MXES system. Another thing that could support that Cassie's father created the MXES system is that when we look at the MXES, it is a glitchy blue rabbit, and honestly, its design had to be inspired from somewhere, so it could be that the inspiration came from Glamrock Bonnie due to Glamrock Bonnie being Cassie's father's favorite animatronic. Of course, Cassie's father and the technicians would create the MXES system after they trapped the mimic behind a concrete wall and a bunch of security doors as well. And in some shape or fashion, the MXES system was actually pretty much the good guy in some sort of way. I mean, yeah, it was trying to kill us and, jump scares some and animatronics from time to time, though, but remember, it is an AI and it simply follows program, so it doesn't matter if, the thing in front of us is good or evil, it's just simply following its orders. Now, of course, we need to ask ourselves this one question: when would all that be taking place? Well, I believe that all this would take place in Help Wanted 2, and that Help Wanted 2 is a prequel, which would answer a lot of things that happened from the RUIN DLC, such as the MXES system, the concrete wall, the mimic, and much more. Not to mention, in the FNAF Help Wanted 2 trailer, there is a Faz Wrench panel that we see on the wall, and that panel matches the exact same one as we see in the RUIN DLC. So the person that is in this elevator that is taking us to a remnants area of this location has to be an experienced technician, so the experienced technician could be Cassie's father. Not to mention that this character is also taking an elevator to go further underground, which is the exact same thing that Cassie does in order to find fake Gregory, aka the Mimic. So it'd be almost kind of poetic, like Cassie's father going down, like, doing his job, working for Fazbear Entertainment and discovering the Mimic, and upon, seeing how evil and messed up this robot is, he needs to seal it away so that way it doesn't get out, and Cassie, ultimately, without even knowing, would be the one to set it free. Now, I know some of you guys are thinking, super, both the elevators that both Cassie and the characters used in Help Wanted 2 are completely different, so how would this whole concept even work in the first place? Well, here's how. In the RUIN DLC, there's an ending called the Scooper ending, in which in order to get this ending, you need to find 4 hidden cameras using different computers that are located within the Pizzaplex. Once all 4 cameras are activated and you confront the Mimic underground, instead of taking the normal way to get to the elevator, that way is blocked off, and instead you're forced to take another way, which leads you to a scoop room, and upon activating the scooper, the Mimic jump scares you and attempts to break in. However, the scooper takes the Mimic away and destroys him. So not only that both the scooper room and the elevator in Help Wanted 2 are very remnants to FNAF 6's location, but it also could insinuate that these areas could also be connected to FNAF 6 Pizza Place, which is connected back to the Pizzaplex, which means that all these areas are connected and working with each other. So if you take, like I said, a bunker or discover one of these areas, you can find the rest of them. So perhaps the setting is that Fazbear Entertainment sends Cassie's father to clear out these other underground areas and perform maintenance using the Vanny mask, and upon visiting these areas, there could be mini games involving using the mask itself. Again, another important thing to note here, guys, that the mask was used by a Fazbear technician and none of was left behind. And upon making it to the final area from which Cassie's father needs to perform maintenance or do whatever task he's sent down there by Fazbear Entertainment, he discovers a Mimic, and seeing how dangerous the Mimic is, he seals it away. From there, he creates the MXES system in order to prevent anybody from releasing the Mimic. After Help Wanted 2, some time would pass, and afterwards Bonnie would get decommissioned, the normal events of FNAF Security Breach would play out, and from there, Cassie's father would then pass away, and from that, we would enter into the RUIN DLC. Now, I know y'all guys are saying, super, this is great and all, but who is Cassie's father? Well, here's my answer. I believe that Cassie's father could be Mike's friend who wears the Bonnie mask back in FNAF 4, and here's why. In the RUIN additional DLC, there are many AR collectibles that you can find within the pizza plets, and that there are 2 AR collectibles that will help make this more in sense, that being the AR Fatsu mask and the AR Bonnie mask. And back in FNAF 4, during the Crying Charles birthday party, Mike is wearing a Fatsu mask and his friend is wearing a Bonnie mask. And if we were to compare both Cassie and the FNAF 4 build with the Bonnie mask, both do have red shirts, not to mention their shorts are in similar color, and their skin tone are very similar, and not to mention both characters do possess a mask. And you guys are probably thinking that the FNAF 4 bull will be too old to be Cassie's father. Well, let's do some math. We know that the FNAF 4 bull in 1983 is somewhere around between 14 and 15 years old, but for the sake of this, let's say he's 14 years old. And after Security Breach, the time will be around 2030 and 2040, but we'll stick with 2030. So if we take 2030 subtract it from 1983, we get 47. And if we take his age, which is 14, and add that to 47, that will equal to 61. And that we know that Cassie has to be somewhere around similar age to Gregory as well, so we'll say she's around 12 years old. So we take 61 minus 12, that'll give us 49. So this would insinuate that Cassie's father would have been around 49 years old when he had Cassie, so this could definitely be probable. And plus, both parents and kids all over the world are all different ages, so there's no reason why this can't be reasonable. So this could insinuate that Mike's friend became a technician who worked for Fazbear Entertainment, and then he had his daughter Cassie, and then from there, he is sent by Fazbear Entertainment to head underground to do his maintenance and do all the stuff, runs to the Mimic, and then the rest plays out. And if there's one thing that Studio Studios is good at doing, is that they connect the old FNAF games to the current modern ones. Or it could possibly be just a brand new character for which they'll give us his name, and afterwards they'll explain how he's going to play an important role in the story of FNAF. Either way, time will tell. If you guys agree with this whole concept, or you guys believe that Cassie's father could be a whole different person, or have any other theories or speculation of your own, make sure you guys leave it in the comment section. Thanks again so much for your love, support, and watching today's video, and as always guys, stay safe, stay positive, be phenomenal. Remember, the grind never stops, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, y'all.